appropriate. I don't like intermittent fasting. I hate that term. But I do agree with time-restricted eating. So if you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, have breakfast. First thing, that's important. It sets your blood sugar on a good trajectory, especially when you eat your protein. So get your breakfast within an hour, and then let's say you want to stop eating at 6 or 7 o'clock at night because your bedtime's at 9 o'clock. That's perfectly fine. What I don't want to see you do is give yourself a 4-hour window of intermittent fasting where you're trying to cram in all of your protein in that 4 hours so you don't eat anything throughout the rest of the day. Your body is not, your gut doesn't appreciate it, your body is not meant to function like that.
Can it synthesize all the protein in 4 hours like that?
No. Your body, so I'm glad you asked that. As we age, we lose 60% of our ability to digest protein as it is. So if you're slamming your body with protein in a 4-hour window, you're going to absorb some of it, but not optimally. Yeah. So space it out, you know. And then also, a lot of people think, well, I can't absorb more than 50 grams of protein per meal, even if I'm eating 3 or 4 times a day in a 9-hour period. You will actually absorb the protein. Now, does all of that protein specifically go towards muscle building or muscle protein synthesis? The literature that we have today suggests not. It's more like 30 to 40 grams will. But if I have somebody and they have if I'm trying to help them pick between trying to get their protein in or not get their protein in, I'm like, get as much in as you can. You know, that's priority number one. The next thing is going to be your stress reduction. Okay. Some things you can do to mitigate your stress. You're going to encounter stress every day. You're going to experience it, but incorporating mindfulness, breath work, yoga, nature time, or cognitive behavioral therapy is actually really important. I love coaching our patients on breath work, like box breathing. So this is when I'll instruct them 3 times a day for 3 minutes. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. For 3 minutes. It's amazing. And address emotional eating patterns. So just identifying, hey, I'm stressed, what's the first thing I want to go to? Grab a protein, and then you're less likely to binge on the other stuff. Sleep, talked about this. Poor sleep reduces insulin sensitivity overnight. We saw that in a study of like 5 days. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is important. Quality being the key. If you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours, but it's poor quality, we need to work on why. Why is that? Do you have sleep apnea? Do you have, is your stress managed throughout the day? Is your blood sugar controlled throughout the day? So I'm a big fan of sleep trackers, whether that's a watch, maybe it's your Oura Ring. Really get a good objective baseline where you are, and then we can figure out how to fix it from there. Support circadian rhythms, light exposure during the day, so morning light exposure, screen time reduction at nighttime. Lowering, Ashley's not a big fan of overhead lights, we've talked about this. At nighttime, ambient lighting, it's great. Okay, movement and muscle activation. Resistance training, huge. Everybody, not everybody, but I think we're trying to change this narrative of cardio is it. Cardio is important, but I'm going to put resistance training in there because when you have more muscle on board, you think of them as like landing pads for glucose. If you have muscle, you have more space for insulin to shuttle glucose into an extra cell, okay? So build those muscles, incorporate daily movement throughout the day as well. Don't just block your time in your hour-long gym session. Get up and move throughout the day if you're at work. Walk on your lunch, walk on your lunch. Do some air squats after you eat, 10 to 20, I don't know. Just get your body moving. Correct micronutrient deficiencies, we talked about this. Magnesium, chromium, vitamin D, zinc and B vitamins. Restore the gut health. So again, evaluate for dysbiosis or leaky gut. Support with probiotics, prebiotics, and diverse fiber-rich diet, and consider stool testing. So I will say this, I do tread with caution when it comes to recommending probiotics because not every probiotic is meant for each individual person. If I suspect that someone really has a serious gut issue going on, I'm a big fan of this GI map. We do these in our practice. But that will help me target a gut repair protocol specifically to that patient. And then also we can evaluate those again maybe 3 to 6 months down the road. Okay. Personalized testing and monitoring. When our patients come in to do their blood test, our panel's huge. So a lot of times we're including this insulin, HSCRP, which is monitoring for inflammation, a hemoglobin A1C, which will tell us how well your blood sugar is controlled over a 3-month period of time, fasting lipid or cholesterol panel, cortisol rhythm. This cannot be checked via blood. This is the only thing. Cortisol is best measured through dried urine or 24-hour urine or a saliva test. And it needs to be checked at 4 different points throughout the day. So it's not always the first thing that I check on patients because it's an addition. But if I cannot figure something out, or if I can't get a good idea if they're high or low, I'll go ahead and check the cortisol. And micronutrient panels too. There are fancy tests for that. So, and then just monitor your improvements over time, not just your symptoms, okay? And it does take time.